Okay, two questions that often come up when it comes to your Upwork profile is, should you turn on your availability badge, and should you boost, and how much should you spend? So the easiest answer is yes, you should turn on your availability badge. For example, in this case, it would cost me $2.10 a week to turn on my availability badge. So I would absolutely recommend that you do that if you're actively looking for work, and even if you're not, because again, it's a very minor expense. They put a trust marker on your profile for clients to show that you're available. So yes, you should absolutely do it. So go ahead and buy those connects. I know that red warning there. Should I? Yes, do it. Okay. Now, the second question that comes up quite a bit is, should you go ahead and boost your profile, or is it a waste of money? And the answer is yes to both. Yes, you should boost your profile, and yes, it is a waste of money unless you know how to properly find a budget for your boosting. Now, unfortunately, Upwork makes this really, really hard to do. They don't tell you what other people are spending to boost their profile. They don't give you really any guidelines whatsoever. In fact, it's even worse than that. They just say, fill in an amount to give us and hope for the best. I hate this, but you should do it. It is going to be a waste of money, but I'm going to show you how not to overspend on this by testing what the amount should be. So let's take a look at the spreadsheet I've created just for you so you can find that right amount. Okay, here is the Google Sheet, which I have a link to below, so to help you figure out how much you should spend to boost your profile. So I'll walk you through the sheet, and then we'll give a couple of examples. So the sheet basically is designed to help you fill in this form right over here, right, when you're going to set your budget, how many bid per click and limit in there. So for this particular case, anything in green requires you to input things in. So for this example, I'm just putting in a $60 test budget for the month. All right. So your first week of your test is to spend no money boosting your profile. Now, if you haven't done it already, you've already had that week, right? So just go back into your stats. If you click on instructions, I'll give you a link right there. You're going to want to go look for those profile metrics inside of your Upwork stats and start looking at what those numbers look like. And we're going to fill those numbers in right here. So basically what we're saying is we're not going to spend any money the first week, and then we're going to go ahead and put in our profile views, invites, impressions, and clicks, and that's coming from those profile metrics. So let's just go ahead and put in 11 and 0 and 0. And then also on that stats page, you're going to see how many proposals you sent out, as well as the number of jobs won. So we can just fill that in. Let's say I sent out, I don't know, 2, and I've won 0. Okay, so that's our baseline. Week 1 is spend no money, see what's happening in the world. Okay, now week 2 is where we want to spend the most amount that we are comfortable with. So week 2 is where you come through and say, I'm going to spend $20 for the week. All right. And I'm going to be more aggressive in how I spend that. So what we're saying is for that week, we're going to spend $5 a day. This is we're going to run out of connects, by the way. This is designed for you to empty the amount of connects that you have pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and set up that daily budget. And what we're going to fill in over here on the right-hand side is bid per click. We're just going to put the number 7 inside of there, right? And then we're going to put a limit of 133, and we're going to set it to total, not daily. That's important. Total, not daily. So this will be 7, this will be 133, and that'll be total. And so we're going to do that for 1 week. So if you start this on a Monday, then you come through and you're going to look at the stats for the past 7 days, and we're going to fill this in. And maybe we got 25 profile views, and we've got, 10 invites, and we've got 15 impression and clicks, and maybe we came up and we've got proposals sent. Let's say we did 5 and we won 1 job. Okay. So what you'll see below here though is the cost per profile view, per invite, per impression and click. So this way we can start quantifying how our money that we are spending, what those costs, impressions, etc. look like. All right, now for the low test, we want to spend the least amount possible, not 0, obviously. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead and spend 1 connect per click. So we're going to put it over here in budget. We're going to say this is going to be 1 bid per click, and then the limit is, again, that 133. And again, we're going to pick total, not daily. Okay. So we're going to spend $20 that week to see what we get. Maybe we come up and we get 15 profile views and we get 5 invites, and maybe our impression and clicks are 7. Maybe we send out the same number of proposals and we, won one job. Okay. And then the final test, the last week, again, we're going to spend $20 for the week, but we're basically looking at a midpoint. We're saying instead of spending, $1 or $5, we're going to go ahead and spend $2.50 for the day, which means that when we're putting in the connects per click, we're going to put 3 in this. We're going to put 133 total, remember total, and we're going to run that for a week and we're going to see what happens. And maybe it's 17, and then we're going to take a look at the invites and maybe, I don't know, let's call it 8. And the impression and clicks, maybe that was again 15, and maybe we send out, the same 5 proposals and we won, 3 jobs. Okay. So what we basically are doing is we're looking at these numbers to see what is the correlation between spending more to boost and how many jobs won. Right? Because what we're finding is that in the high and low test, we won the same amount, but in the mid test, we actually ended up with more. Or maybe, wouldn't this be great? You end up with 3 here and 0 there. That can happen too, right? So what we're looking at is what number do we feel comfortable with? What's a number that seems to be generating the type of work that we want? And that really depends on the type of job. I mean, you can have one job that you win and it can pay you a whole bunch of money and you think, hey, this is great. I'm going to do this all the time. So what you want to do in this spreadsheet, again, is just try to go through and fill in the details. Now, if you're in a highly competitive space, WordPress, right, you may need to spend $200 to do your testing budget. That's going to equate to essentially $66 a week. And your initial test, you're going to spend 22 connects per click. I mean, this is an aggressive category. You may even spend a lot more than that. But what we're trying to do is see, by filling in the connects over here and the total over there, what type of activity that we're seeing. And again, your high test, you will run out of a budget. Okay. You will spend it all very, very quickly. And that's okay, because the low test, you probably won't spend the whole thing. Right. And we want to see what happens with that. And then in your mid test, again, we're just trying to look at the high, the low, the median, and figure out what is that correlation to jobs won. So look at the link below. Make a copy of this spreadsheet, have fun with it. I think this will help you determine the right amount to spend to boost your profile.